Hello again and welcome to another Warhammer 40k Imperial Guard list review. Today's list was sent in by Peterson. Stephen was very considerate and he said, I know you're really busy at the moment so you don't have to make a video for me, but Stephen, you are a Patreon supporter and it is the least I can do to show my gratitude to give all my Patreon supporters list reviews. So I want to say, of course, thank you for your support. I absolutely love it and appreciate everything that you've done, everything you've done to support the channel. Every little bit helps, guys. I know I say it every single time. It's just, this channel has come on leaps and bounds thanks to this Patreon money. You know, we've got a new camera, new terrain, new armies. It's all coming up. 2018 is going to be a big year for the channel, and it's all thanks to people like Stephen. So, once again, I really appreciate the support, and of course, I will make a video review for you. So, without getting all gushy and emotional, let's get straight into this. The list that Stephen has sent in is a 2,000 points Imperial Guard list. It has got 3 detachments. We have what looks like a brigade, a battalion, and a spearhead detachment. So that's pretty good. It looks pretty good. This is a tournament. Oh, okay, you've said this is for an upcoming 2,000 point tournament. I appreciate you sent me this list a couple of weeks ago, so I apologise if the tournament's already been and gone, and I hope that this isn't too late. But as it is a tournament list, I'm going to be quite harsh on it. Okay, so because obviously I want you to do as well as possible. But hopefully I won't have to be too harsh, and hopefully it'll be okay. You said, let's read out. You say, my big question is, should I have a battalion of Scions to have some punchy deep strike support to deal with the dangerous Primarchs and hidden tanks, or should I have another battalion of 40 men, 10 of them Melter Vets who score one of the Chimeras and use that to bulk up the army and use Melter Vets, and probably the Chimera mounted plasma gun special weapon squads to deal with the Primarchs and tanks and such. They're about the same points. I'm leaning towards bulk infantry with Melter Vets, Officer 2 Plasma, Special Weapon Squad, plus Hellhounds, the counterpunch, which sounds are very good, just costly per man, hoping for neutral arbitration. Well, I can certainly give you that. Basic idea, I want to have Harker, Snipers and Artillery as one fire base, Cadians as another, with Lever and Russ plus Chimeras plus Hellhounds as counterpunch, and then 60 or 90 men and cavalry to contest objectives and be a screen. Any other obvious dramas or weaknesses on a first glance we'll go up to hear about. Okay, no worries, my companion, my comrade in the guard. Let's take a look at the list. Right. So, the first attachment is a Catachan Brigade. Right. Now, you have gone for 3 company commanders, each one with bolt pistol and chainsaw. Now, I'm just going to try and open this in Google Sheets so I can expand different equipment you've given your units. So let's take a look at this. Thank you very much. Warlord trait is Grand Strategist. Relic is Co-Officer Quiller. Yep, that's fine. There's a lot of command point farming there. That's pretty good. Although you do have 16 command points to start with. So you probably don't need to farm command points. People tend to take the Grand Strategist Co-Officer Quiller combo when they don't have a lot of command points and they need to farm them back. I mean, if you're running a brigade, you generally don't need it, and if you're running 16 command points plus you're getting loads back on a 5+, I think you're going to really struggle to burn through all those command points, and you're going to struggle to keep track of all the ones you want to use, because you're going to have so many. You're going to have these ideas of, I'm going to use this on this and this on this one and blah blah blah. And what I tend to find is sometimes it's best, like what I do with my Armageddon Steel Legion, is I say I've built this army around this concept and these couple of stratagems help. So the Armoured Fist one helps, the Jury Rigging one helps, the Inspired Command Order helps. But I just use the same orders every single turn, because when I'm in a tournament, I don't really want to be fumbling for stratagems. I just want to know these are the ones I want to use. And maybe You know, you can pull one out and be like, yes, this is amazing. I'm going to use this one. Like the game when I remembered the Vengeance for KD stratagem. I was playing against Chaos Army, and I was about to start my first shooting phase, and like a lightning bolt, I remembered Vengeance for KD. But you know, so that's my point. But you don't want to be trying to like, you don't want to be trying to like spam millions of stratagems because you'll just lose track of which ones are important. So just bear that in mind. Having loads of stratagems is great, and you can just use, but you've already got 16. Do you really need 16 plus farming? I don't know. I think you've probably got enough. You might be able to go for a different warlord trait and a different relic. Just throw that out there. But I like the fact that you've gone for bolters and chainswords on your 3 company commanders. That is perfect. You've then gone for 6 troop choices, and each troop choice is an infantry squad. You've gone for 3 with just plasma and 3 with just flamer. Okay. I'm okay with this. I mean, normally I would say put heavy weapons in here. But I understand Castellans kind of want to be moving forward. You know, Castellans are a relatively mobile army, so I kind of get that. The only question I would ask is it possible to put a bolter, you know, get rid of that last pistol, get a bolter on each sergeant? If it's possible, I'd definitely consider it. Because bolter sergeants I'm a big believer in now. And I think generally you'll find that just it's 1 point, it's 6 points. You might be able to scrounge it up, you might not. Anyway. I've got no issues with that. I mean, the only thing I would say is that 60 infantry isn't a huge amount. Your opponent will probably cut through that in a turn and a half, 2 turns. Definitely, if you're facing an assault army, that will only buy you one turn of breathing room. So just bear that in mind. I know I personally am not a big fan of flamers as well, but you cast chance, so you kind of got to have some flamers in there. It's like the law, isn't it? But it's also, you get to use burn them out, so that's fine. Now you've gone for 2 special weapon squads, each one with 3 plasma. That's pretty good. I like that. And then you've gone for a command squad with 4 sniper rifles. Now, you've gone for another command squad with 4 sniper rifles as well. I mean, I would... If you go... Yeah, it's like... You've only got 3 company commanders, so you're not really going to have enough orders to really be ordering those command squads around. So are you taking them just to fill up elite slots? You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 elite slots. Well, that's 1 more than you need. And it's kind of like... You know, what you really want to take command squads for is the flag. You want to be able to mitigate battle shock. Now, I know you'll be getting +1 leadership from your officers being nearby, but leadership 9 is really important. Leadership 8 doesn't make a big difference. Let me tell you from a Mordian perspective, where we pretty much get base leadership 8 as it is. I miss it when one of my squads is outside of flag range. I really miss it. So I would definitely think you need. You know, rattling, put it this way, rattling snipers do the job better. So why not take rattling snipers instead of those command squads? Just a thought. The engine seer with a servo arm, yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, you've got some armour in here, but you haven't got a huge amount of armour. In fact, from what I can see, you've got 1 Basilisk, 1 Lehman Russ, 1 Manticore. And they're the only ones that are really going to be able to take advantage of it, because your Chimeras and your Hellhound, they're going to be blasting off into the future, blasting off to hit the enemy. So it doesn't really feel like you need that engine seer, is what I'm saying. You haven't really got enough heavy armor. Put it this way: in my Steel Legion list, which is 13 vehicles, I take 1 engine seer, and that's all I need. I don't need. You know, you've got a mostly infantry army here. I don't really feel like you need the Tech Priest engine seer. He's good. I just don't think Need him jury with all the command points you've got. Jury rigging will probably be enough. You've then gone for Sergeant Harker. That's cool. He makes a lot of sense in a Catachan list. 50 points, lots of reroll ones. Shove him with your plasma squads and special weapon squads and plasma infantry squads, and overcharge for days. Okay, that's fine. Good. Couple of Hellhounds, each one with 2 times Heavy Flamer. Now I know why you've done this. You've done this because Catachans get to re-roll the random dice number with Heavy Flamers. Yeah, it's true. It's good. It makes a lot of sense. And I guess I get why you've done it. I get why you've taken. I get why you've done it, but ask yourself this: Hellhounds are 1 point more, and they do the job so much better. So why would you pay the same price for a vehicle which has a worse heavy flamer? Now I know you can transport your plasma special weapon squads around, so you might want to keep one of the chimeras, but you could drop one of the chimeras and take them to the Hellhound instead. I think that makes sense. I don't really see why you need 2 chimeras. Just throwing that out there. You've then taken, for your fast attack, 2 lots of Rough Riders and a Hellhound with Inferno Cannon. Right, okay. Not too bad, I suppose. But yeah, you really want to be using those for basically to score line breaker. You want to stash those guys. You want to use those guys to score line breaker, and just tuck one into each corner and just keep them off it. Because 10 Rough Riders aren't going to do a huge amount, so you're really going to want to try and keep them. If you have to pick on a dodgy unit, that's really, if you want to kill something with them, bring both on the same side. If you want to use them to score objectives and stuff, hold them off until turn 3 and bring them on when the enemy doesn't have as much to deal with them. Because 5 Rough Riders or even 10 Rough Riders, the enemy can sweep those away pretty quickly. Heavy support section, you've gone for a Manticore, a Lemurus and a Basilisk. And now the Manticore, you've just put Heavy Bolter on. The Lemurus, you've just put a Battle Cannon Heavy Bolter. And the Basilisk, you've just put a Heavy Bolter on. It's a very small amount of armour you've got there. I don't know. I personally don't like taking one-offs of things. So I don't like taking a Hellhound. Hellhounds work better in pairs. They really, really do. I don't like taking a Basilisk. I don't like taking a Manticore. I don't like taking a Lemurus. You either want to take 3 Lemuruses or 3 Basilisks or 3 Manticores. You want redundancy, because that Manticore, if it's part of your plan, if it dies, you've got no backup. It's gone. It's dead. It can't help you anymore. So you don't really want to take one of them. Same with the Basilisk. If I was you with these choices, I would choose whether you want to take 3 Manticores, 3 Basilisks, or 3 Lemuruses. Okay? I wouldn't take one of each. And if I'm going to be absolutely honest, 2,000 point list. I know you've got other bits of armour running around, a couple of Hellhounds, a couple of Chimeras kind of thing. But, 2 Hellhounds and a Chimera. But you really need more than that. This is one thing I've learned with playing Imperial Guard in 8th edition. If you're going to take tanks, if you're going to take vehicles that are your heavy hitters, you need to take 4 as a minimum. A good example of this is the recent 1500 point game I put up with me versus the Blood Angels, the one where I lost because my opponent in his turn 1 was able to kill one of my Lemuruses, and that just meant my long range firepower was severely depleted. If I'd had 4 Lemuruses, I wouldn't have noticed the difference, because I expect to lose one. Okay, I expect to lose a Lemurus, so that doesn't factor into my battle plans. So if you're going to take these damage dealers, you need to take 4 of them. 3 of them, you might as well take none. That's how extreme it is. Okay? Now, yeah, I'd probably recommend 3 basilisks. That'd be my recommendation. But my sort of concern is I don't feel like you've got enough screening. You know, I don't feel like you've got. I just don't feel like you've got enough screening. If I was you, I would drop. We'll get to it in a minute, but I would probably drop the spearhead you've gone for. I just drop that completely. It's 1 command point, and just use that to buy up a whole load more riflemen. But we'll get to that in a minute. Okay. Now, getting on to your Scion battalion versus your other battalion, I would actually keep the Scion battalion. I know I've just said you need more screening, but Scions are amazing. Okay, Scions are. I can't go into a game without them now. They're really. Well, I can obviously. My Steel Legion doesn't use any Scions, but they make up for it by having a shit ton of heavy bolters and battle cannons and plasma cannons. Scion for your Armageddon Steel Legion, obviously very mobile. Your list is pretty static. Those Scions give you the ability to drop down and just decimate an enemy flank, and they will do it. They'll then die, but they will drop down and just clear an area. They'll clear a flank, easy peasy. So you've taken exactly the right amount of Scions. You've taken 3 5-man squads with 2 plasma and a plasma pistol in each one. Boom. Perfect. You don't need any more than that. Now, you've taken 2 Tempestors. That's great. You've given 1 the Rod of Command and 1 a plasma pistol. That's fine, although I probably wouldn't even bother with the plasma pistol on the Tempestor. I guess, prime. I guess it's not too bad. What you could consider, it wouldn't save you any, well, it'd save you a few points. You could, if you got rid of that Rod of Command and took a plasma pistol instead, you've got enough command points. You've got an extra bit of plasma, which is great, but what it means, you can use inspired tactics. And you can use inspired tactics to get that 3rd order that you're looking for. Or if you end up not command point farming, you could take the tactical auto reliquary of Tiberius on one of these guys, and he could then on a 2+ issue an extra order. So one way or another, you've got the ability to order to get 3 orders, and you could save yourself 8 points if you dropped both of these down to bolt pistols and then just use inspired command or auto reliquary of Tiberius. Then you can save 8 points and still get your 3 orders. It's only 8 points, but that makes a big difference. That's a bolt gun on every sergeant, for example. So yeah, I would actually go with this. That's better. What I would drop to get the extra screening would be your Spearhead. In your Spearhead, you've taken it as Cadian, and I see why. What you're going to do, you're going to take a company commander, you've got 3 heavy weapon squads, and you're going to order them to get reroll hits constantly. Yeah, that's fine, but what I've noticed with your list overall, you've got lots of special units. You've got special weapon squads, you've got command squads, you've got heavy weapon squads. You've got but you've only got, what it really comes down to, you've only got 60 line infantry. You can have all the special infantry in the world, but you've only got 60 line infantry, and that is not enough. Okay, you need way more than that. A decent assault-based army will carve through those 60 infantry in 1 combat phase. Hell, 2 squads of berserkers, I am not exaggerating, 2 full-strength squads of berserkers could carve through those 60 infantry without skipping a beat. Okay? And let me tell you, most Khorne players will be bringing more than 2 squads. An Orc Horde, I mean, what you got to ask yourself is, when you're facing a heavy Horde-based list, for example, what you've got to ask yourself is, do I have enough small arms to bring this list down? And if 180 boys or 210 boys came running at this army, I don't know if you'd have enough. We don't have enough lasguns. That's my opinion. You don't have enough. You've got lots of special killers, but you haven't got a lot of anti-horde. Likewise, what happens if you go to a tournament and someone has a cultist bomb? 40 cultists. Those with Mark of Slanesh. those 40 cultists will clear out your 60 infantry easily. They'll have prescience, so they're so they're hitting on 3s. They'll have veterans of the Long War, so they'll be wounding on 3s, and they will be firing twice with endless cacophony or deafening cacophony, and they'll be in rapid fire range. So that's 160 shots, hitting on 3s, wounding on 3s. If he has a Chaos Lord there, he's rerolling 1s. And let me tell you, that will clear your 60 infantry away, no problem. He can charge after that if he needs to. He'll definitely finish you off. And then he's in amongst your lines, and you'll struggle to clear 40 cultists because you don't have the volume of fire. Or maybe it'll take your whole army to kill the majority of those cultists. But if you don't kill every single one of them, he'll just bring them right back with Tide of Traitors, and then you'll follow again. Likewise, if you face a bloodletter bomb, if someone gets 30 bloodletters into this, you're gone. No questions asked. Shooting armies. If you're facing off against a decent shooting army, they'll carve through 60 infantry. The point I'm trying to make, and I'm sure I've laboured it far too much, is you need more than 60 guys. Okay? What do I always say? You can't leave home without 100 infantry. No matter what kind of list you're using. You've got to have 100 infantry. The only way my Steel Legion gets away without having 100 infantry, I still have 60 in a mechanized list. Most people would run like 30. I still have 60 infantry, so almost 70. And the only reason I get away with that is because I charge my chimeras all over the place, and I use my chimeras as screens. My chimeras are my screening unit. So actually I have 6 infantry squads and 6 chimeras, which is the equivalent of having 12 screening units. That's what you need. You need 12 screening units. Or as near as damn it. So, my recommendation would be, if I was... my recommendation would be 2. You don't need the tech freeze, so that's 42 points saved. Having a look. You want to keep... I guess you want to keep the sniper command squads, but I would turn those into ratlings instead. But at the very least, you want to drop the... you don't... Turn those 2 4-man sniper squads into 1 rattling squad, okay? And then you'll have 2 special weapon squads, a rattling squad, and Harker. And that's more than enough. Oh no, do you need 5 special choices? If you need 5, I think you only need 3 for a battalion. But if you need 5, then just drop the engine seer. At the very least, definitely drop the engine seer. Then you want to drop your... That's an infantry squad right there. I just want to point out. That's 42 points. That's 10 more men. Then you should say your spearhead detachment is 2 mortar squads and the lascan squad, if I didn't say that already. You then want to drop all that. Okay, so 174 points. Okay. That's 216 points right there. Okay. That, if you take them as flamer or plasma squads, 47 point units is what I'm getting at. That is 4.5 more guys. 4.5 more squads. That, at the very least, that gets you up to the 100 infantry you need. 120 ideally. 120 ideally. You could get more. Let's say you take... Let's have a look. So it was 42 plus 174. Right. Fuck this. So you're going to take... 1 second. You're going to take 1, 2, 3, 4 infantry squads. I guess you 100 infantry. Okay. Now you need to homogenize the fucking... you need to homogenize your heavy weapon slots, your manticores, your lemurs, your battalists. Okay. Let's drop each one of those for now. That's 143. 1 second. 143 plus 155 plus 108 for the basilisks. Okay. Now what you want to do instead is take 4 basilisks. Okay. That gives you 4 basilisks. Perfect. If you lose one, you've still got 3. Perfect. And that still leaves you with a few points left over. Now, I would seriously recommend dropping your chimeras. I know your plasma chimeras would work, but I would seriously recommend swapping one. On top of that, swapping out either both or one of your chimeras to hellhounds. Okay, 3 hellhounds running around is a serious headache. A not bad idea is 2 hellhounds and a chimera with loads of plasma special weapons in them. That is a nice little, raiding unit. That's a nice little 2 hellhounds plus the plasma. That they can deal with pretty much anything. So I'm going to end the video here because that's my recommendation. My recommendations is drop the spearhead, drop the engine seer, and drop your Manticore and Lehman Russ and use all those points to get yourself 4 more infantry squads and 3 more basilisks. Okay? In general lessons that I want you to sort of learn from this is you need homogenization / standardization. You've got too many one-offs. You've got a couple of this, a couple of that. It's going to be too difficult to keep track of in a tournament. You want to have a nice, streamlined, uncomplicated list. 4 basilisks, 3 hellhounds, 10 infantry squads. Keep it easy to remember. That's the key. Because when you're in a tournament, you're going to have time constraints. And you're just going to have to be able to look at your army and not have to work out what is where. Okay? I hope this has been useful. Hope it's not too late. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And of course, I'll see you guys next time.